Yo, what's up? This is Del, the Funkee Homosapien, right? I'm down with the mighty Hieroglyphics clique. Yo, you tuned in to the internet, you know what I'm saying? And you tuned in to MV.com. It's melancholy vibe, you know what I'm saying? Remix, if you can understand me, you know what I'm saying? So if you down in the dumps or whatever, please try to be productive with your life, you know what I'm saying? Because the remix is all about taking that and reshaping it, reconstructing, reforming, you know what I'm saying? And born in something a little bit better. So
www.mvremix.com.
Right, so the first question you have been asked 220,000 times without a shadow of a doubt. But I couldn't find the information on it, so I thought I'd ask it again. Exactly why is Del the Funkee Homosapien?
I consider myself sort of a scientist, so that's how I got that name. You know what I'm saying? It's the scientific name for, you know what I mean, for human being. And the funky part is, I just consider myself funky. You know what I'm saying? I deal with a lot of stuff in my life, I guess. I've developed this sort of funky attitude at times, you know, but I feel like I'm real, you know what I'm saying? So that's part of it too, you know what I'm saying?
Now, so far, with the wealth of albums you've had out, what would you say has been the one you're most proud of and would like people to remember you by if ever they had to choose one?
The first album, and the last two, both sides of the brain, and the Deltron Zero.
Do you speak with Cube much?
Not now, but every once in a while I talk to him. You know? So, you know, it's still cool.
Any aspirations for you to be involved in one of his forthcoming films, like Yet Another Friday or whatever?
Nah, man. I can't really act. Well, I won't say I can't act. What I mean to say is that ain't really my cup of tea. It takes too much work. It's too much work for me to do a video. You know what I'm saying? Video be a pain in the ass. You can imagine like months on location, all day doing the same scene over. I'm like, nah, man. It's good money, but nah. Even for the money, I still couldn't do it.
Could you ever write a script or something along those lines?
Now that I could probably do.
Yeah.
Or even film the movie myself. You know what I'm saying? I got a pretty good eye because
So
I'm a visual artist first.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a problem being behind the scenes rather than at the forefront there.
Yeah, as far as that was concerned, yeah. I do like being in the public eye, though.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Now, I've read a lot and I've seen a lot about how you're a fan of anime and Japanese video games and all that sort of shit. And I read how you were trying to learn or you were studying the actual language.
Yeah.
How much have you developed yourself with that? And would there ever be a chance of us hearing a Del track rapped in Japanese?
To tell you the truth, I know Japanese pretty good, although I never get to use it, so I'm very rusty. But I studied Japanese for like 3 or 4 years, you know what I'm saying? So I went to college for it, and, you know, I just continued by myself. But, you know, Scotia, as far as speaking, you know what I'm saying? And that means a little bit. In Japanese, like a little bit I can speak it, but not very much, because I never get to use it. You know what I'm saying? But all I would need to do is be around it, you know what I'm saying? And I'll probably pick it up real quick. Like, I still watch anime and stuff that'll be in Japanese, whatever. And I'm still amazed at how much I do actually remember. Like, I'll be thinking, man, I need to study before I forget it all or something. Then something come on, I'm like, I understood what he said, you know what I'm saying?
Have you spent much time in Japan?
I went there a couple times, you know what I'm saying? But I pick it up a lot from my homie Shingo. He from Japan.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he would help me out speaking sometimes, you know?
Cool. Yesterday in downtown Vancouver, there was a huge peace rally for the war on terrorism. Everyone was marching and acting as if they actually make a difference. But anyway, what is your opinion on the current situation? I.e., do you think we should be really, really jumping towards killing Saddam Hussein and bombing Iraq? Or do you think that it's just naive to believe that that is going to solve the problem?
I think it's all political, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I feel like the government at times want just something to be able to point the finger at and be like, okay, they're the enemy. they're why your life is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you can't get a job is because of Saddam Hussein. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to have a scapegoat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as, the terrorism and stuff, sometimes that happens because people are just assholes. A lot of times it happens because, once you get bullied too far, you bully the wrong person, you're going to get shot up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like the United States have been bullying people for too long, and now it's starting to come back. You know what I'm saying? It's only natural, and I think it really hit people as a surprise, as a shock, because a lot of times we think that we're so safe or like nothing can touch us or something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Me personally, in my life, I just try to be cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to do it too much one way or the other because, I don't want to bring myself in bad karma, basically.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the word patriot? Do you think it's just a nice little word to represent something which it doesn't? Or you think it's a naive usage trying to act as if, yes, we should all conform to one way of thinking and represent this thing regardless of what it stands for?
I don't believe in just being a robot. But I do believe in people having a common goal to achieve a common, to achieve a common goal, have a like type of thinking, like move as a union. So, as an ideal, it's great, but, it falls somewhere short along the path, I guess. And, everything can't be perfect, so, it's bound to be shit that's not working.
Yeah.
But, let's just go like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel personally America is standing behind a lot of falsehoods. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? It's hypocrisy. They say one thing and really behind closed doors they doing something else. And I feel like it leaked to the people. Like people tend to grow up in America, I feel, believing that they could do whatever they want and not get caught. They see the president stealing or, doing all this. Well, hey, I can do it too. If the president doing it, it must be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel that everybody time will come. So if you're doing all this stuff behind closed doors, it's going to come to the light sooner or later. So, I don't really worry about it. But I do believe in unity, though.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to say on a lighter note, but on a happier note. I got a few questions to go along the lines of your music more so.
Okay.
So I'm going to name the various groups, and I'd just like to know if you could tell me a bit of information with regards to what's going on.
Sure.
First and foremost, Gorillaz.
Okay, Gorillaz. I just kind of participated with that, and they don't even exist really, but they're just cartoon characters. But man, what is dude's name to draw Tank Girl? I can't remember. I'm so angry. I think his name's Adam something, right? So, dude to draw Tank Girl and Damon, that's from Blur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them got together, and that was basically with them, from what I understand, and Automator. From what I understand, it was kind of like a pet project. Like they didn't expect it to blow up like that or nothing. They were doing it more or less because, as creative minds, they both dug each other's stuff and they wanted to, do a little something with that. They thought it'd be kind of cool, so they put it on the internet, just to have it out there, basically. And it started blowing up and basically got imported to the States after it kind of started getting hot and stuff. So I just kind of was a part of it, pretty much because I was working with Automator on the Deltron album. You know what I mean? And he knew that I'm real good at writing lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew that he could depend on me like that night to write the songs that he needed. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, little did I know it was going to get this big, but it worked out though.
Cool. So leading on from that, what's going on with Deltron?
That was kind of like a one shot, although since now I see how popular it is, I might revisit it, but it's kind of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It was more like a creative urge, something that I needed to do, as opposed to a product. Although it came into being because I kind of knew that it would be a good product because it was kind of separate from Deltron, Funkee Homosapien, yet it still was me. So it kind of validated buying it. Even if you had all my albums, well, that ain't a Deltron Funkee Homosapien album. It's Deltron 3030. It's kind of It's new, you know. I got the idea from Mega Man X, because Mega Man, the regular Mega Man, you know what I'm saying, he was round, kind of cartoony, and they kind of souped up the Mega Man X, made him like futuristic. And I always thought that was a dope idea.
Does push button objects fall into the same sort of category?
That was something I just did a remix for.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes a lot of cats might send me some tracks and they want me to do a remix. You know what I'm saying? So that was just more on the production too.
How has the 11th hour come along, and how was your studying of music more so with the instruments and classical sense managed to influence you?
Well, really, it kind of got sparked because I came to a point, I guess everybody go through this too, I came to a point in my life where I was kind of confused a little bit, and I really didn't know how I was going to make it, you know what I'm saying? I kind of came to crossroads. And I seen like in the music industry, a lot of people getting better with their music and music just changing. So I started feeling kind of obsolete, you know what I'm saying? Kind of obsolete, and I was feeling kind of like humble, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of had an attitude that I was the shit, you know what I'm saying? Not fully, because I'm not really a big-headed person, but I've always had, like, writing raps has never been hella hard for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just good with language in general. You know what I'm saying? It's never been hard. I've always gotten props for being a visual artist. I always knew how to draw. So it was kind of funny to be in a position where I wasn't the hot shot no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm not really all that dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to further my career, make sure I could stick around. So that's what initiated it. But once I really immediately after I started studying, I figured out that was the natural progression of what I was supposed to be doing. And that's kind of what I wanted to do anyway. I kind of had a fear of taking it on before, deep-seated fear that I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know that I thought that I couldn't play music at that point. I had music classes when I was younger, but I just kind of got discouraged by my teachers because they wasn't really teaching me that. You know what I'm saying? So once I got the chance to really look at how music works, I was like, oh, this is all it is? It was so easy. Like, now I can see why they call it playing music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's more like an obsession. You know, I'd rather do that than anything else, really.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming along good. Actually, I can play the keyboard pretty good, you know. But I'm more into rhythm now. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was more into trying to figure out chord progressions and scales, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm starting to learn that all that shit is already there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's nothing really new about that except the way you use your palette, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a box of Crayolas, it's the same box of Crayolas for everybody that's going to color with them. But each individual is going to use them in a different way. So that's kind of like how music is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to peep that the rhythm is really what is going to separate me from everybody else. Like, okay, that he's hella tighter than them, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm into that a little bit more now, even though that's another thing where I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm black, you know what I'm saying? African, basically. So that's already in my blood. It's something that I kind of just took for granted. Like, I just got it like that. Now I'm starting to learn, like, you might have it, but that don't mean you are the master, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm into funk a lot. So that's where my music theory is based, really. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might think that I'm just into the books, or, you know, I might get lost in the sea of like all this technical jargon or whatever. It's not even like that at all. You know what I'm saying? It's more like I want to be able to express to the best ability whatever I'm feeling my music should feel or be about at that point. Now I can do it damn near, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty close to being able to do it exactly the way I want to do it. When before it was just hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? And it was okay until I ran into a roadblock and it was like, okay, well, that's not acceptable no more. Or it won't be in a minute. I felt like if I came out with another album like both sides of the brain down, I'd be finished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some people would like it. I'm not putting it down like that, but that style was starting to get old. You know what I'm saying? And if I couldn't like update it, you know what I'm saying, I'd just be old news. You know. Now, so really, I started seeing like R&B and other types of music like that. Soul start getting a little bit better than hip hop too as well. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop kind of like slowly fading a little bit. So I'm starting to worry about even my career as a hip hop artist. Like, what if that don't last? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why I was like, let me just study music in general. That way I can be around and do whatever is concerning music in general. Because I just love music in general. It don't really matter. It's all the same to me. You know what I'm saying? But I had to come to a point where I had to consolidate exactly what type of music I wanted to do. Because since I'm so inclusive, it's just as bad as not having no direction at all. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's still confusion. So I had to like narrow it down, you know what I'm saying? Which that took about 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And then once I got a hold of that, then I started thinking about 11th hour, you know what I'm saying? How I wanted to come out, you know what I'm saying? Because I never thought about that. I thought just being me was enough, you know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to learn that that ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of dope artists out there that ain't never gonna get listened to or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't just about being dope or having skills. You gotta know how to apply it. You gotta know how to make songs. You gotta know how to entertain people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be somewhat cordial and be able to have a certain amount of patience and dedication to even get anywhere with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like I wasn't too far from where I needed to be though. Just naturally, because I just try to be cool about everything, and I'm pretty intuitive, like I'm pretty open-minded. So it was just a little minor adjustment, maybe. Luckily, you know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of artists that get that big head, and they think they shit or whatever, and they turn around and ain't nobody looking at you, ain't nobody give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like a shock to them, like, how could I fall off? I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying?
So what exactly is going on in terms of when the album's coming out, or is it in mid-process, or what?
I'm working on it now. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to get my skills up as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now I feel like my skills are to the level where they should be. You know what I'm saying? Just me personally, because I could already see once I started studying, I was like, this ain't shit. If I just take another year, you know what I'm saying, I'll have damn near full control over this. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, I'll take my time and just work on it then. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people around me couldn't understand. Even some people in my own clique couldn't really understand. Because I'm the person that, you know, you needed a hook, you can go to Dell. You want to rap real quick, go to Dell. He'll write you a rap in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, how come you don't have no songs done? Like, I used to make songs all the time. Like it was nothing, you know what I'm saying? Where some people got a problem with coming up with one song, you know what I'm saying? Taking them like a week or two to get one song done. And I like try to tell them, you know, I know how to make songs. It ain't about that no more. I'm trying to make great songs, some straight classics, you know what I'm saying? And just know every time I sit on the drum machine to make a beat that it's gonna be hot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that too, I don't know, I'm blabbing my ass over. Also, I see like times are changing just as far as the demands on people in general. People just expect way more out of you. You know what I'm saying? The economy is getting low, you know what I'm saying? People and prices are going up as far as music is concerned, you know what I'm saying? So people ain't willing to put that $20 on somebody goofing off, or, you know, you think you was a hot shot artist. That's some bullshit, actually. I don't want to listen to that. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, you know what I'm saying? And it was always like that, but it's getting more like that now, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think in general, just if you working, you know what I'm saying, people are expecting you to come quicker with what you're doing, faster, better, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Just all new, you know? So I was like, man, I need to find a way where I can be more efficient with my music. I can't be like out of 100 beats, maybe 40% of them be tight, maybe 30%. I don't know, because I'm just making beats. Hopefully some of them will be usable. Maybe none of them will be usable. possible. I couldn't, that kind of ratio was just too wayward for me. I had to have more of a surefire, you know what I'm saying, thing. And, you know, I can't control all variables in the world, but I can control what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically that's all the things that really made me serious about it. But really, it's really about the fun. You know what I'm saying? Music is just hella fun to me. I'm a person that used to play video games all the time. I'll sit up playing Tekken, practice mode all day, just practicing. Not even playing a real game, just practicing, you know what I'm saying? Practicing combos and connections. Yeah. And music work just like that. It's just different patterns. You'll have like a bass pattern, and then you have little combos that you put with that pattern that you could just pull out whenever you improvising or whatever. Even down to the keyboard, I didn't even have to get my fingers ready for fingering and shit because I played video games so damn much. My fingers was ready, you know what I'm saying? So it was real natural for me. So it's really fun to me, though. I want to stress that, you know what I'm saying? Because some people are like, you know, that's too much work to learn all that or whatever. And I'm like, if you really love music, it ain't that much work. I ain't gonna say everybody's cut out to learn it, you know what I'm saying? Because you definitely don't need to know that, you know what I'm saying, to play music. Because it's mostly more about feel than anything else. But I feel like I've always been pretty much a composer at heart, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person to have a beat just running and then rap over it. I'm gonna want that beat to do something because usually I'm listening to the beat myself before I even write a rap to it. So I want it to sound interesting to me just as an instrumental, you know what I'm saying? So learning a lot about the language of music, you know what I'm saying, as far as talking to somebody else about my ideas or as far as the actual music, you know what I'm saying? Because each style of music got its own language, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just get into all that. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't start talking and writing until you know how the alphabet works, how words work, how grammar works. So same kind of stands with regards to actual music, instead of just lyrics.
Which is interesting because you asked me just a second ago, well, a few minutes ago, about Japanese. And that was clicking in my head too, like, you know, oh, this is just perfect the way it was set up. I studied so hard in Japanese. I'm like, oh, this ain't shit compared to Japanese, you know what I'm saying? Like, this hella natural, you know what I'm saying?
Will you be doing more of the production or taking more of a prominent role in that on Full Circle?
A lot of it is done already. So, you know, I was burnt out for about 3 or 4 years and dealing with hella personal problems. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Not really like with me, myself, but people around me having to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So during that time, they was recording the album. You know what I'm saying? I'd either be on the road or I'd be at home trying to get my home life in order or what happened, you know, what have you. You know, so most of that is done, but right now I'm cool. So after I get off this road trip, I'm gonna go home, get in there, you know what I'm saying, add my piece, bring what I know about music to the table now, you know. It's actually set up kind of perfect now, you know what I'm saying, because I'm pretty much finished with what I need to really learn about music as far as the, you know, the foundation. So I can bring that to the table now just as they finish their part, you know what I'm saying, and kind of sequence the album maybe, just see how everything can connect and make it a real strong album. Because I don't want it to be just song after song just thrown together. You know what I'm saying? I think the public demand more. I think that us as a crew can give more. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we all super talented. You know what I'm saying? There ain't many crews like that. You know?
Definitely. I mean, Third Eye Vision, you have to top it. That's the thing. Next album, you have to top what you did last.
Oh yeah, so, definitely. And I feel with Third Eye Vision, we didn't even really do that much. Like I said before, I ain't gonna talk for everybody else, but me personally, I kind of had a chip on my shoulder, like I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of reviewers reviewed that album was like, it's cool, but we know Hyro. This ain't the best they can do. You know what I'm saying? They kind of kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of them songs were already made, and we just kind of made a compilation type album out of it. Like, we didn't go in the studio like, okay, we're working on the Hyro album now. Hell of them songs was already made. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that's bad, not saying that's good, but I felt like if we really sit down and make a Hyro album, you know what I'm saying, we can make a bomb-ass album. You know.
Is there any date or vague time frame in which it's going to emerge?
I don't know, man. I think we all, you know what I'm saying, are trying to get our shit together because everybody's going through it, you know, but we're trying to kind of consolidate a certain type of scheduling as far as all this stuff is concerned, man.
Okay.
You know, so pretty soon, probably, you know, like April, May.
Nice.
You know. But I'm also trying to work on 11th hour as well. Luckily, I learned all this stuff about music because music is like the least of my worries at this point. You know what I'm saying? I used to be stressed out about what people like, this, that, or the other. You know what I'm saying? That's the least of my worries. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I could do that very quick, efficiently, and it's like when I was doing it before. It's fun to do. I just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Make a beat real quick.
Yeah.
And I don't really have to worry about it.
Now, there's going to be a lot of people reading this, so I'm wondering if there's anything specific you would like to address to them. So do you have any last words or statements or comments or whatnot that you'd like to pose to your fans or potential fans that are going to be reading this?
Yeah, I was saying this on stage the other night, just about the whole mainstream versus underground thing, you know what I'm saying? Let me just say, first off, like for me, underground is basically just the hard stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's the core hip-hop to me, you know what I'm saying? It ain't diluted or just some McDonald's that they made specifically to sell to the public and nothing else damn near, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, that could be mainstream, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Busta Rhymes is an underground artist, you know what I'm saying? But he's also a mainstream artist because a lot of people like his stuff. So I was saying on stage yesterday, like, you know, don't front on things just because they get a lot of light, you know what I'm saying? Because you missing out on a lot of dope stuff.
Of course.
And that's the same thing that a lot of people in the mainstream start doing with us, with underground music. They start being like, oh, y'all just backpackers, blah, blah, rapping about nothing or whatever. So now we starting to do it to them, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I just don't dig that. I think we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, you know what I'm saying? I think you should try to see what's inside first, see what's happening, and then you can make a proper judgment about what you're dealing with. You know, and I feel like if we want hip hop to last, you know what I'm saying, then it can't be inner bickering and all that about the most pettiest issues, you know what I'm saying? Because that don't even mean nothing. If it's good music, it's good music. And I find like it's really a lot of hardcore hip hop heads that's like that, because the average listener, and I'm like the average listener because I like all kind of music, you know what I'm saying? So the average listener, they're not tripping off of how dope you can flow or how many words you can stuff in a sentence or how cerebral this is or how artsy-fartsy you been. If I can't listen to it, then it's weak, period. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think since most people feel that way, that's where my mind is at, you know what I'm saying? But I want to tell everybody out there at the same time, I'm not compromising myself just to sell records. I feel like I'm a universal person already. It's very little I need to do to reach a lot of people. I feel like damn near nothing, just be myself. You know what I'm saying? As long as I just make sure every song is tight, you know? So, you know, that's all I'm saying. Because I've seen a lot of times in the past, like Tash, for instance, he came out with Rap Life album and he was like, man, I want to make money. I want to go gold or platinum with this. I'm not even gonna front, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people ostracized his album because they was like, he's selling out simply because he said he wanted to be successful. And I thought that was weak, you know what I'm saying? Because he had a dope album.
What do you think about the way that people have responded to Exhibit? J-Ro came out with a track, I think about a week or two ago, called The Ex-Homie.
The Ex-Homie?
Yep, did some Exhibit.
Really?
Because apparently Exhibit's sticking with Dre and Snoop and all of them and kind of turned his back to the Alcoholics. So do you think it's a similar thing because Exhibit has gone to a certain level? Or
I know Exhibit the homie, you know what I'm saying? So, but I don't really, and I know the Alcoholics, they the homies too. But I don't really know about their inner thing that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really sit and judge and say, well, it's an example of this or that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think with that, if the nigga gonna make a song about him, obviously it's something a little bit more personal at work there, not just the fact that he's with Dre, because it wasn't no problem before, you know what I'm saying? And the alcoholics ain't even like that. They ain't petty like that. You know what I'm saying? They gonna congratulate you if you being successful. You know, so but that's kind of like what I'm talking about too. Is like, you know, I can't sit here and speculate on their little whatever, because that's what people did with the Tupac and Biggie shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody really know what's going on with Tupac and Biggie. Really, they didn't really have no beef. Really, it was people around them just blowing it all out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? Biggie died wondering why Tupac was tripping. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Really. So it's like, you know, it's like a slaughter fest or something, or arena of the fights or something, barbarian. You know what I'm saying? The barbarian fights. You know what I'm saying? When you sit and see the man in the ring fighting the lion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you want to see the lion eat up the man or whatever, just to see some blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would urge to the listener out there, you know, just kind of like let artists have their personal life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, don't try to make too many judgments as far as that's concerned. Let it be about their music. Their music is dope, then it's dope. Don't let all that other stuff, you know, influence whether or not you think their music is dope or not. Because I think that's the point I'm trying to make. People will make a judgment on somebody's music without even hearing that music. Like Q-Tip, for example. He had his videos or whatever, amplified, was hella tight. And for the last few shows, we actually was rapping over 2 instrumentals off of Amplify. And everybody in the crowd was like, oh my God. And I was saying my freestyling over it like this is Q-Tip shit, just to let you know. So if you was fronting on it when his album came out, I see you out there grooving to it like it's the most phenomenal shit you heard. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
His new shit should be interesting.
Yeah, I heard a lot of his new shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's coming out.
I've heard it's going to be coming out, but it keeps being delayed, and speculation, and under Kamal the Abstract.
Right.
So
yeah, I got like this mix CD, the Abstract Poetic, and it got like a lot of outtakes from him doing duets or like teaming up with fools. And so it's comprised of that, and it seemed like damn near half of the Kamal the Abstract album. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them songs is on that mix CD, and they all hella tight. And it ain't nowhere near as abstract as fools was trying to say in interviews and stuff. I mean, in reviews, because they was making it seem like it wasn't even hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a funky beat, and then all of a sudden it breaks into this crazy freestyle jazz thing, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, that's hella dope. You know, because it's still hip hop.
Still quality music.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't even like it's weird. Like, you know, I've heard some weird ass jazz before, some free jazz where it don't even make no sense damn near. It ain't nowhere near that at all. Matter of fact, you probably wouldn't even recognize that it was from the Kamal the Abstract album, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't out of the line what he's used to doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like where I'm at, and I know Q-Tip, so we kind of got a parallel thing going. So I'm kind of like in the same place where he at, where this is his natural progression. Ever since I've known him, he's been really into the music. So of course he's gonna learn how to play and all that stuff. Finally, that's what he wanted to do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know, man. Don't just to make a long story short, wrap it up. Just don't let the media tell you things, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to deduce by looking at it to see if you think it's real or not, what's really going on, you know what I'm saying?
Perfect.